Destiny 2 has a lot of ways for you to die, and a lot of ways for you to lose flawless, a lot of ways for you to lose your mind, but I think this build can help sort of mitigate that experience, as not only does it do a decent amount of damage, it also helps keep you and your teammates alive, and I think that's almost something that all of us want, especially considering sometimes teammates intentionally throw flawlesses away. I think you could sort of get the general idea just by these background clips, but I will go a bit more in depth on not only the weapons, the exotic armor piece, and the subclass in this video, and how all of them sort of mesh together. But before that, I do want to say thank you so much for the support on the last video. I genuinely did not expect a massive comeback like that, especially with how small my channel is, so I thank every single one of you that watched it. Now onto the build. For the weapons, we're going to be using the exotic hand cannon Lumina. This allows you to kill smaller adds from a greater distance and also create noble rounds, which allow you to heal teammates from a distance, as when you hip fire with Lumina, it creates a tracking healing noble round that travels slowly but auto tracks the targets and can fly a pretty decent range. However, if you want something for closer range healing and more consistent streams of healing, I would definitely recommend the no hesitation auto rifle with a roll of Physic and Circle of Life. Both of these perks not only increase healing effects towards your teammates, but also give you a damage boost and a health buff, using some fragments and just abilities that come with the subclass. Speaking of the subclass, we're going to be using Solar, because Solar gives us healing grenades, and with the Speaker's Sight helmet, also found in the Final Shape expansion, you can pretty easily just keep your teammates alive by tossing your healing grenade, which not only does the burst of healing, but spawns a sort of noble rounds turret that shoots out the little noble Lumina rounds and tracks towards teammates and yourself. This paired with a solar super like Well Radiance or Song of Flame not only keeps your teammates alive, but buffs their damage, and using aspects and fragments provided by the solar subclass, you're able to not only keep yourselves alive, deal out massive amounts of damage, but you're also able to counter some champions and even just generally do very, very complex things that I don't think most teams would ever think about doing, because the risk is just too great. So I think this build generally just speaks for itself in terms of what it can do. So now I think it's time we get into the actual subclass and how every single one of those fragments, aspects, and abilities pairs together. This is the subclass that I came up with. We're running Well of Radiance because even post-nerf, it's still very good at dealing damage, and you could just toss a healing grenade inside of it, which with Speaker's Sight creates a turret. Phoenix Dive is very good to give you self-health, and Incinerator Snap is good for dealing with groups of enemies. For aspects, Icarus Dash is very good to get you out of like a situation that you just can't survive from, meaning you can Icarus Dash behind a corner, Icarus Dash backwards to allow you to snap better, and just generally use it to help yourself out of danger. Touch of Flame improves all of your grenades, meaning your healing grenades will be improved. As for fragments, we're going to be running Ember of Torches, Ember of Solace, Ember of Tempering, and Ember of Benevolence. I know here I have Ember of Empyrean, but Ember of Solace is just better because it just by default improves the duration of Restoration and Radiant. Speaking of which, Radiant you can acquire using Ember of Torches and Incinerator Snap, as dealing damage with your melee gives you Radiant. Ember of Tempering is very good for giving yourself and your teammates restoration by just dealing damage with a solar weapon, and Ember of Benevolence makes it so that applying restoration, radiant, or cure to your teammates gives you ability energy, so you can toss down things like more healing grenades, you could use Incinerator Snap more, or you could Phoenix Dive a lot more, which is very, very good. On top of that, utilizing perks like Physic and Circle of Life from the No Hesitation Auto Rifle, you're able to give yourself restoration and buff your damage to not only you and teammates, which procs some of these fragments, and it's just generally a cycle of deal damage, heal, deal damage, heal. It's just a never-ending cycle that works very, very well and helps you and your teammates stay alive. Generally, I don't think there's anything else for me to add to this, apart from just use a solar heavy weapon that can proc incandescent. I don't know if there are any, but I am testing out with the new Speleologist LMG from the episode, which is very good. It fires very quickly and deals generally a lot of damage inside a well in such a short amount of time. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much just the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great day. Be ready for more, I guess. I may also start streaming again, but again, nothing's promised. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you next time.